There is only one Indigenous broadcaster championing the cause for the restoration of Biafra. Biafra Human Rights Radio. Of course, unstoppable and remains the beacon of truth. It has been so since yesterday, and it is today and forever. There is only one.
Land of the rising sun, we love and cherish, beloved homeland of our brave heroes. We must defend our lives, or we shall perish. We shall protect our hearts from all our foes. But if the prize is death for all we hold dear, then let us die without a shred of fear. Held to Biafra, consecrated nation, oh fatherland, peace be our solemn pledge. Defending thee shall be a dedication. Spilling our blood will count our privilege. Now waving standard which emboldened thee free shall always be our flag of liberty. We shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible unscared will pass. When we are poised the wind of battle to yield, we shall remember those who died in mass. Then shall our trumpets peal the glorious song of victory. We score might and wrong. Oh God, protect us from dying in pitfall. Guide all our movements, lest we go astray. Give us the strength to heed the humanist call, to give and not to count the cost each day. Bless those who rule to serve with resolute grace, to make this kind Biafra.
Of course, we must be allowed to go home because we want to be on our own for so many reasons, I should say. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. As always, this is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station. Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station is anchored by Diokpa Uche Okafor Mefo. This is a platform where the issue regarding the Biafra de facto customary government is nurtured. And of course, it is the embodiment of pro-Biafran group. Diokpa Uche Okafor Mefo is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State. And Anambra State is in Biafra land. He is the man who told us from inception that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. And I can assure you, he has been diligent to that aspect. It doesn't matter who is involved, but there are clear evidence that the people of Biafra do not understand the mindset behind these words. By the special grace of the Almighty Creator, I am George ONYIBE, and I come from Agbo, Anyoma province in Delta State. And of course, every piece of land in Delta is Biafra land. Of course, that is not an issue to debate this evening, so I move ahead to acknowledge members of Biafra Nation Alliance, men and women who, against all odds, decide to stand against evil and bloodied men, standing on the side of the truth, even when it requires that we live in the darkness to serve the light. We stand put. The media department, you are highly appreciated. You cannot be able to comprehend the miracle God is using you to do in the life of Biafrans. Generations unborn will talk about you. And I am only here hoping for one consolation, believing that everything we do on this platform in the name of Biafra, that it will be written in the sand. And they are hiding under come know the true meaning of hypocrites, because all of your hypocrisy is exposed in the end. And so the Biafra Nations Alliance, I can assure you that your words, your names shall be on the lips of endless generation of Biafra, and it shall last beyond the pyramids of Egypt. Acknowledge members of the de facto customary government, the executive, of course, to the parliament, and every noble man and woman who stood their ground to ensure that we are properly repositioned in order to be able to navigate our way home through the ocean of life, because our destination is Biafra and it remains Biafra. Acknowledge indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu, who somewhere along the line they missed their tracks. This is one aspect most of you cannot understand, but we are not hypocrites, and certainly our conscience are not for sale. We will not join the crowd. We will rather turn our back against you for the sake of the truth. Walk in the cold or in the winter alone, in the desert and even against all odds, until the truth prevail. Don't worry, we are not in a hurry. You will get it. But you about China Sanguru, you are yapping. Even up to now, most of you are still resisting to change blue to black. But of course, they are related, but they are not the same. This is the truth you have to embrace and accept in the end. We told you about the gangster called DOS, led by Chike Duziem. Today, you can see them dancing naked in the marketplace. They have just started. Only one stronghold is keeping evil in the land of Biafra. And that is our leader, our leader, our leader, our leader. Every spirit and demon behind our leader, it must be crumbled. It must be crumbled. And most of you, you will hide in shame. Some are hiding already. Otu bochi Biafra gabia oge monovum nanyao ndi mehe onogeti aka n'obi o. Otu bochi Biafra gabia oge monovum nanyao ndi mehe onogeti aka n'obi n'eti lihe mere onwe m, lihe mere onwe m, lihe mere onwe m onogeti aka n'obi. There's no two ways about that. And so you are on the platform already, you are yapping, you are insulting, you are castigating, you lie, you get involved in matters greater than you or you know nothing about. It's okay. I remind you again, that is your cause. But on the other hand, I am your destiny and I am your doom. Why don't you log out? Go home and sleep. Have a rethink about what you have been doing in the past 10 years in the name of Biafra agitation. Consider how much did they give you? How much recharge card? Is it enough to sell your conscience? Don't you see nobody is patronizing you? And now you are the one castigating and blackmailing each other. Don't you see you are losing your front already? We understand your leader is in charge of the whole confusion, the whole hulo taking place in the name of Biafra agitation. Your leader Nnamdi Kanu is in charge. But of course, display your stupidity while you have the time, because you are IPONK. Before, very soon, we will separate the wheat from the chaff. You are not IPOB, and nobody will be allowed to dent that name. IPOB mean the original people, the original indigene of Biafra. All of you answering IPOB, led by Chikeduze Nnamdi Kanu, you are indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu. It's a matter of time. The people will differentiate you. Don't worry. And so you are welcome to the platform. Insult me, abuse me, say rubbish about me. But of course, we are sitting down already observing all of you. And some people think maybe we have to leave it and move ahead. You move ahead to where? Till today, we are still suffering from the consequence of the evil our father did. And they pour sand on it and they say, let us move ahead. Today, there are evidence of activities of evil men all around us. Some of us, our uncle, our father, our nephew, our niece, our cousin, our brothers, our mothers and father, they did evil and we cover them. And today, look at how our life has become. Are we the only people who sin? Are we the only people who have sinned against God? But you see, something is out of order. And if it has to take us to overrule the whole system and even upset the balance to put things in order, my brother, we are not in a hurry. Some people sit back and think that they control it. You control nothing. When one door is closed, another one will open. Of course, I do not expect you to understand. And so we keep hammering on this truth. For a while, it will haunt you. For a while, you will dislike it. Because your soul has been polluted with lies. You have to heal yourself. And we will take the patient and take your insult. But our target is to let our love conquer your evil. We will purge your soul of blackmail, of lying, of deception. We will purge your soul of hypocrisy. We will make sure you are completely whole. Because this is the only time the Biafra will seek for, we long for, we bled for, we die for, will ever emerge. Don't forget, we put our blood in this thing. Most of you don't know. Most of you are not aware. And of course, acknowledge men and women across the globe. Most of them are not Biafra, but they had something in common. They are all progressive-minded individuals who have made up their mind to identify with us in our struggle. We really find ourselves in a very unpleasant situation, a very precarious one. But God, as we know, will not do for man what man should do for themselves. Honestly, we are not master of wisdom or claim to know it all. But somewhere along the line, we believe it is our right to self-determination. Somewhere along the line, we understand that what is happening in the Nigerian state is unacceptable and cannot be allowed to continue. Somewhere along the line, somebody have to stand up in defense of our people. And now we are here. And it doesn't matter the wing we are playing from. But the truth remains that everyone must make sure you are playing your wing properly. And then how can I proceed without acknowledging the Almighty Creator? Some people tell me protocol in your broadcast is too long. Why don't you cut it short? And then I will not broadcast. I need this broadcast. Ordinarily, I take most of this time to allow those who want to learn, those being saved, to hear what we are saying. But in most cases, I would have been telling you if I am a blogger. I will say, okay, let us wait for 2-3 people to join us. Okay, I'll be looking at the number. Okay, subscribe, follow us, give us love, signal us, ginger us. Yes, we are waiting. I will rub powder, I will drink wine, drink champagne, drink kai or otano. Just the ginger you and be delaying you. You love that, okay? But that is not my style. And so I beg for your indulgence. Let me acknowledge my Creator. Anyị na-aja gị mma maka n'eziokwu ị mara mma ịhụnanya na gị obiọma gị o juru anya dadi o inwe gị mgbanwe ọ dị onye dị ka gị ịbụ Alpha na Omega dadi anyị niile na-asị na dị mma ise. And of course, this having been said, we go to our topic this evening, which is simply titled The Way Forward and the Need to Think Deeply. The way forward, of course, for the people of Biafra, and the need for us to think deeply, deep thought. When you give your heart, your soul, your body into a particular thought, in search of the true light, the true wisdom, so the light can illuminate your body and soul, you will be consumed by this knowledge. It becomes the driving force and the very primordial influence that will drive you in everything you do. And in as much as the people of Biafra are looking for the way forward, there is need for us to think deeply. As a people in their need of freedom from emasculation, freedom from subjugation, freedom from oppression, freedom from injustice, freedom from the art of nepotism, freedom from so much. We just need freedom everywhere. There is need for us to think deeply. How did we get ourselves into this mess? And let's say out of ignorance, while men sleep, the enemy planted those bondage, chains of bondage. And now we woke up one morning and we see ourselves on handcuff. And in as much as we don't know how we got into those handcuff or leg chain, for us to free ourselves, there is need for us to think deeply. Of course, regarding the situation and circumstance that is surrounding us, even as a people, because this is the only time that will enable us change our predicament in the Nigerian state. At this moment, I'm trying to talk to Biafrans, maybe they will understand. This evening, I will react to two headlines from the Nigerian news today, being the 7th day of the month of January 2022. Let us have a close review at its implication and the way forward for the people of Biafra. And number one of this news headline is the suspension of food supply to the southeast. The suspension of food supply to the southeast. The coalition of the Northern Group, CNG, according to Vanguard newspaper, on this very day, reacted to the proscribed indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu ban on the consumption of Fulani cow in the southeast, calling for a total boycott of all business operated by the Igbos all over the north. The people, Arewa people, responded to supposedly what they call the art of provocation, that the indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu asked the Biafrans to boycott the consumption of cow meat, beef. And as such, they are also calling all the people in the north, Arewas, to boycott any form of trade that is being handled by the Igbos. This is supposed to be a childish talk. You see, that is why we really need to think deeply. First of all, in this very headline, it is important we look at the implication of this threat. And in as much as the indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu has lost their way, including in Nnamdi Kanu, and we understand clearly, it is not in their place to tell us who eat cow and who don't eat cow. Not at this moment. Because you have no idea what will happen to us in the absence of Fulani cow. Where are our cows? Do you know the whole of Southeast, if you count how many cows we have, it's not up to 1,000 Ifibu. Where are our cows? A lot of things is behind the reason our cow is going into extinctions. We do not encourage the people who do that. We'll look into that later. We don't even value it. And in most cases, it's very expensive. And like the janja weed, Nnamdi Kanu called them, they know how to take advantage of some of the areas we have enslaved ourselves. And then they become a solution to those areas of greed. We have allowed greed to consume us. And so they give us cow. Where are our native fowl? Where are our goats? But are we going to die without cow? Like I said, in as much as the indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu and all of them do not have that right to tell us what to do, but yet they said it. And to tell you that it is the same rope that is connecting most people who claim to be honest leaders, it's unfortunate. If they have said the World Igbo Congress, if they have said the Ohaneze Ndigbo, if they have said the Igbo politicians, if they have said the Igbo elders, it was easy for them to say that the Igbo elders, parliamentarians of the first generation of Nigerians, came to Abuja to beg Buhari to release Nnamdi Kanu. That would have been fair enough that these people, any of these people, falls into the category that gave such order. And then it can call for a whole Arewa nation to begin to jump up and begin to... Did they say they should kill anybody? Did they say they should arrest anybody? They said we will have to stop eating cow because it has led to the death of many of our people. If it were to be in the ancient days, these are most of the events that give birth to superstitious belief. And then you see some community, they don't eat cow, some don't eat goat. It depends on their relationship, the part they have taught with these animals. And so a generation will rise up and consider such animal to be evil, having the capacity to defy them as a people, and they do away with it. And so if we want to go on that road, so you're going to condemn every Biafrans. And then you jump on the social media and the Arewa said it's provocative. And how are they supposed to respond? They said we, the Arewa, owner of Arewa land, we have given you order. Coalition of the Northern Group. Of course, this is another wing from the Miati Allah. This is what we are going to do. We are tired of all this nonsense. We will not supply onions to the Igbos again. Because that is what they mean when they say Southeast. We will not give them tomato. We will not do like this again. You would have asked your people not to eat Apu again now. You would have asked your people not to eat Eba again now. Huh? Coalition of Arewa, Miati Allah, Boko Haram. Tell your people not to drink our Pami now. You see, you people are the one dragging for one Nigeria. But you people are the one whose action and character even divided one Nigeria to this moment. I want us to see the implication from both sides. I say what I say tonight for the overall interest of the people of Biafra. And of course, you are expected to misunderstand me. I am entitled to my opinion, and so you are. At least, it is evidence that the people of the Southeast, unquote, eat your cow. They patronize you. Which one do you patronize them? Which one now? And even the one you are abandoning from coming to the Southeast, we are the ones still buying it. We are the one that is supposed to say, let's not eat Hausa tomato. Let's not eat the sugar cane they sell. Let's not eat the pepper. Of course, the yam you do is our yam. But of course, that is your own line of trade. We are the one that is supposed to boycott you. But you are boycotting us. Why? Because mechanic did not allow us to know mad people. Nnamdi Kanu and indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu has eventually make it look as everyone has lost focus. This is an issue we need to review. Come to think about it. They said they've tolerated the Southeast for so long. But understand, when they say the Southeast, you are inclusive in the South-South. But of course, they know how to divide us and make it look like a cross-sectional fight. But all of us bear the brunt in the end. And then to some of you Biafrans in the South-South, you think it doesn't concern you. Does the Arewa Consultative Forum actually truly represent the Gwari people, the Nupe people, the Singoro people? Do they actually represent the northern Nigerians, the southern Kaduna, or they play on representing the Fulani? And now they are telling you, we will do this one, we will do that one. But for God's sake, now that you are provoked to the level that you intend to supply, why don't you divide this country and stop tolerating our insolence? You have everything it takes to just divide Nigeria in a twinkle of an eye. Why don't you divide Nigeria so that hungry will kill us? You are issuing a press communique. But of course, this should be seen as a disgrace from the side of our people. If we have to check the moral lesson we need to learn from such press communique issued in response to a threat coming from some entity, go and look at the person telling you, don't eat cow meat, don't eat cow meat. He's eating Nkwobi now with cow meat. Go and look at Nnamdi Kanu junior brother, fine boy, more powerful. Go and look at it. She is somewhere now eating cow meat. The same way they tell their children, don't go to school, sit at home, no exam. But their children are schooling in diaspora. Oh, I know gets, of course, I know many people in Biafra land are not hearing my voice because of the limitation of the transmitter. But we are not in a hurry. We are packaging the whole deal. They must hear it. Some of them will regret not having access on time. Why can't we be fair to ourselves? We eat cow meat, no eat a cow meat. Will he give us Biafra? But of course, these people are looking for somewhere to claim relevance. Sit at home, you must sit at home, not going to market. It is in the Kanu deal. It is this one. Just to show you control. Who do you control? Who do you control? You hire 2-3 boys, you stay at the backyard of somebody's farm, and I just wear black, and I say, oh, we are the ESN, we are the ESN, we are ESN, we are ESN. You patrol. One corrupt Nigerian policeman will give you people gun. You pay him. Go and check all the pipeline being vandalized. You will see 90% of those vandalizing the pipeline are Nigerian army and police in collaboration. Are we deceiving ourselves, or what exactly are we doing? Let's stop deceiving ourselves. There are a lot of principles that need to be initiated, activated. Without them, we may end up shouting like this all the while. But it's better we say it. If I sit back now and look at social media, and about 12 months ago, the same people saying, oh, Uche Mefo is armed robber. Hey, Dr. Kado is a criminal. Oh, Dr. Uche Nwokenkwo is a evil. Hey, Obidio Obienu is criminal. Hey, this one is armed robber. They've almost forgotten our name. They are now the one calling themselves criminals. And the same way, it's just a matter of time. Because Nemesis is on the loose already. And maybe in the coming days, they will start killing teachers. School will resume on Monday in Nigeria. You start killing teachers and students. And you are going to tell them that they refuse to sing Biafra national anthem. And you start killing them. But you know it's not achievable. Bring your children down. Let all of them sing it. Bring your children down. But of course, like I always say, Ndi Hausa rachebo kanoli ndanda no da imufibo. They're looking for somewhere to oppress. They're looking for somewhere to bring us down. And so what did they tell you? They capture every opportunity they have. And they tell you, since the indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu, they have, do you think they speak for me? And you generalize the threat you are giving to those criminals against me, you are not sincere. Coalition of Miati Allah and Boko Haram, you are not sincere, and all of you are not sincere to yourself. The only reason why you're having the privilege to do what you are doing is that because our people have failed to identify with reality. Everybody is trying to play intelligentsia, and at the end of the day, it is dragging us back. So have your feast while it lasts. Now, why would they give us such threats? They see loophole in our society. The moral lesson I want you to take home on that very news headline. They see a very deep loophole in our system. While we are busy doing unknown government, sending our youth to the bush, eliminating those who refuse to dance to our tune, the Yorubas are busy reorganizing the next generation, reprogramming the next generation. The Hausas are doing that. But what about the Biafran youth? First of all, the Idomas, the Agatus, the Zakembians, the Ulembechos, among others, Biafrans in Kogi State, in Benue State. They used to be great farmers. They used to be great farmers. But today, Idoma man will even go to Obaru to buy yam. Otuo man, Zakembia man, will even go to a very tiny community to buy yam. Where are those farmers then? They've been discouraged. Their orientation and mindset have been deviated from the reality. And now they live a life of falsehood. You may gain it individually, temporarily, but the whole system, the whole community collapse in the matter of time as a result of most decisions we have taken. This is what gave Arewa coalition of Miati Allah, Boko Haram to begin to issue such communique. They always generalize the fault of one man against the nation. And so they issued the threat because they saw the loophole. Our youth are no longer going to farm. You can travel the whole of Southeast as we speak. You may not be able to get 40,000 liters of palm oil. In fact, my neighbor that sell dry gin, Kai Kai, the original one, he used to travel all the way to ONYIBE and somebody was asking, how will you drive from this location to that location, this far distance, and coming back empty-handed? He said if it were expensive, it would have been better. They did not see. She even have to go to the river where they produce those dry gin. She didn't see. And she lamented and said, why? A whole ONYIBE, why? A whole Bayelsa, why? A whole Delta, why? And so what do? They roll in containers of ethanol, chemical, and you are loading it. And they told them, the generation that tap palm wine, the generation that convert this palm wine to dry gin, they are all almost old and winding up. They are very old now. But the next generation does not want to pick up. If you cannot farm gare, you cannot farm yam, you cannot farm cassava, is it Kaika you are going to tap? And so our youth lost focus. And gradually, we are diminishing without knowing anything. I think Nigerians spent about 61 trillion naira to import goods only last year. Food items. But we have a population of teeming masses who, if they are encouraged into farming, we will export every form of food that we produce in Nigeria, because we were doing it before. But I'm not generalizing Nigeria. I'm talking to the people of Southeast. Because the Northerners are helping their children and encouraging them through irrigation farming system, and of course modern mechanization of the agricultural sector. They are encouraging them, giving them loan for agriculture. The North are doing it very well. The Yorubas are doing it very well. Even though they are not as rich as the Northerners, but they encourage their people to get involved. Love what you love. It doesn't matter. But our people, we want the quick money. We left the floodgate of our economic open to everybody. Temporarily, momentarily, we're making profit. But we're going to lose it very deep in the end. The thing they just told you, they will starve you. With the amount of level of fertilized land we have in Biafra land, with the amount of natural and mineral resources, with the amount of human capacity, and somebody is telling you we starve you with tomato. Going to Biafra, there was a rice farm they introduced there some time ago. Go and look at it now. They've destroyed the whole rice farm and turned it to estate. Snake Island, the Monkey Island, the Chimpanzee Island. And when they call them zoo, they get angry. And so they exchange a rice farm to an estate. And where are the people working there? Where are the Abakaliki rice farmers? Where are those Abo people who make Bende Gare? Where are those who do Ikwere Gare? Where are those people from the southeast who make Pamoye? Where are all of them? All of us are in the city, or we are in diaspora. Why? Because we are lazy? No. I just want you to see how the loophole comes in. And the area we need to begin to close up. Because now, give us Biafra, we will do this. So there are a lot of leakage on the roof, my brother. If you don't patch it and this rain fall, it will beat all of us. Mercilessly, I must tell you. And now I stay in the village. I cultivate my crops for 1 good year. And at the end of the year, I can't even change my dress. I can't buy a trouser for myself. I cannot feed properly. In most cases, I cannot pay my house rent. And then towards the end of the year, those who travel to the city will all come back. And most of the youth, for instance, that I work harder than, will come home. Some with cars, some with expensive clothes. They feed all of us. They have money to throw around. And it's easy for me to just look back and say, is it not Ikechukwu? The Ikechukwu that I used to teach how to fish? The Ikechukwu that I used to teach how to farm? He just went to the city, which they look at him as a big boy. Can you tell me why normally any progressive-minded individual will not want to go to that city and make such amount of money in a very short time like Ikechukwu? And with this mindset and orientation, all our youth abandon the village. Fulani herdsmen will come, they will be for. If they lie, let Nigerian Boko Haram guide them. If we have our teeming population of youth who are properly coordinated in the village, who is that madman? But when 10 Fulani enter your community, it remains 70 of your sisters. Out of the 70, 50 of them are grandmama. The remaining 20, 15 of them are children under the ages of a month to maybe 7 years. And then you have the 5% remaining as adult. Even the weakest warrior, then they jump up and down and begin to slaughter anybody. It looks like we are lazy people. But nobody is in that village. Why? Because all of us has run to the city. Why are they running to the city? Because we on our own has failed to encourage our people to do this thing. When we talk about youth empowerment, it's not you will give us land, we want to farm rice, we want to know genuine empowerment. This is going to be a tradition for a very long time. But let it be that way. But they know we are gradually losing sight. We are gradually losing focus as a people. Our youth now play Naija bet, Oshodi bet, everywhere, bet, kalu, bet. That is what they do. Because they look to them as the prevailing initiative from this present generation. Today we sit down and talk about the advancement of China, Japan, America, and most advanced countries around the globe. And you do not know, most of these people started from grooming their youth traditionally to attain to greatness. I was watching a documentary program lately. They were showing some of the expensive fishes in the world. And there is a particular fish with white and red skin, patch skin. And they said each of those fish is sold for, is it 1.2 million or thereabout dollars. And then they began to give the history for how many years the Japanese has the tradition of breeding that kind of fish. You can't get it anywhere in the world. They even organize program to encourage the next generation to begin to learn how to breed that fish. They have so many types of it. And then imagine, I think one of the girl won award lately. She's about 18 years. She has been breeding the fish for the past 14 years. So she started when she was small. And now she's grown and she has sold her own. And so you can imagine, if my father guide me to train one fish, and I watch over that fish, nurture that fish, take care of that fish for 14 years, and then I'm 18 years, and then maybe I want to enter university, and then I have to sell the fish with the Nigerian currency. You give me 1.8 million. Don't you see I will pay my school fees from beginning of that term to the end, including accommodation and feeding? But what do we do? By just giving money is not a source of encouragement to sustain these traditions and culture. You create the enabling environment also to control, to encourage them. It is good most of us will come out and then they say, I give 50 boys from my community 1 million. What are they going to do with it? Motor pass. Do they manufacture motor in your village? What are they going to do with it? Electronics. Do they manufacture electronics in your village? Can we eat electronics? But of course, the people who belong to that avenue should be there. What are our farming setup? You see, we have a loophole. And so when the Fulani come and say, we'll not go give you food, it looks as if they are feeding us. Directly. But indirectly, they are the one feeding us. They are making effort to leave Nigeria. The only thing holding them is what they are benefiting from the oil resources. Every Biafra must know that. That is why they are spending tons of millions of dollars and pounds on daily basis searching for oil in the north. But if there is no oil there, there is no oil there. But they are not relenting. And once they have the oil, and then they wake up and they say, everybody go, and then we start all over to see how we arrange ourselves. Because we are busy deceiving ourselves. So people say, oh, we are relevant, we are relevant. And so the people of Biafra must take note. They are just telling us, oh boy, get ready and feed your people. Tell me a nation that cannot feed these people, and then they call themselves advanced nation. Some American children think that they plant the chicken. Some American children. With my bishop relative living in America came for visit. and the sun saw good. And some of them even think they plant good. They plant yam. Why? Because they have developed a tradition and a culture that enables them to take some of these animals into one lab and breed them genetically. And so it's not just the traditional way of analog breeding of animal, but now it is software. They are all genetically enhanced. They can produce 1 million chicken in 1 hour. And then tell me how many is the population of America. And tell me a family that can finish 100 chicken in 1 day. It's not there. These are traditions and culture we should be imbibing on our people. And then nobody will come and threaten us. Yeah, we will not feed you again. And then of course Ohaneze Ndigbo moved on and appealed to them. I beg you now, please, you cannot take it serious. You can take it serious. And so the solution is simple. There is dear need for youth empowerment on different fronts, not hypocrisy, not yahoo, but trying to restore the dignity of our culture and tradition. They lay down rules by our ancestors before us, and you see everybody will fall in place. Create a market environment for them. Create the enabling environment for them. Overcome them, conquer them with your success. You see, nobody will go to play gamble. ES bet 1, MM bet 1, WW bet 2, Niger Delta bet 1, Niger bet, everywhere bet. Generation of gamblers. We look at the number 2 news headline, and it says the South to collaborate with the Southeast to produce the next president of Nigeria. And of course, according to Vanguard newspaper, it said a pro-Igbo group has urged other geopolitical zones in the southern Nigeria to support the Southeast to produce Nigerian president in 2023 in the spirit of equity and justice. A pro-Igbo group, Ndigbo Royal Heritage, the President General Dr. Paul Okoye, who made this appeal in Umuahia, Abia State, while delivering a keynote address during the 2023 Igbo Political Conference organized by the organization, said it is natural that 2023 is the turn of the Igbo man to produce the next president of Nigeria. It's amazing. I do not know if he was appealing to Nigeria. I do not know if he was talking to the people of the South. I do not know if he was just having a roundtable discussion with Igbo people. But first of all, let us consider this is the truth. You see, we have divided ourselves in such a way that it is becoming a hindrance for us to unify and fight for one thing. Dr. Paul Okoye made a request, and I'm in agreement with everything he said. After the Nigerian Civil War, every region in Nigeria has provided a president. From inception, Nigeria is divided into 3 regions: the west, the north, and the east. That time we don't hear of south, up, west, not line, bottom line, sideline. It's either you're from the west, or you're from the west, or you're from the north, or you're from the east. There was nothing like Bender State then. There was nothing like South then, Southwest then, North Reverend there. Nothing like that. You fall under these 3 regions. And that is why you hear Wazobia. Now understand, that does not mean these people have to receive preferential treatment against or above any other ethnic nationality in Nigeria. No. You give it to them. They have the numerical strength. You give it to them. They are more organized. You give it to them. They have the advantage. And then if the Igbo man is denied his tenure to be the president of Nigeria, are you telling me Ijo man is the one to fight? Are you telling me Idoma man can fight and get there? Are you telling me Ogoni man can rise up and say we want to be president of Nigeria? Are you telling me who is that person? We all know the story of good luck. It is just grace overrule human decision. All of us know. And then most people say his name worked for him. It's not going to be possible. And so they divide us. And so Dr. Paul Okoye coming forth to tell you we need the South to support us. I think it's a way to go. You know, before now, we do not care for what they do as politicians because we all believed that all of us were going to come back to the same table at the same time. But then it was being projected as a politician's evil. Let them manage their Nigerian politics, and we will exercise our political right as Biafran in the Nigerian state. Did you get that English? We will exercise our Biafran political right. We will dominate and control it within the Nigerian state. And now there is a way to go. And that is why I'm earnestly praying that the de facto customary government will be endowed with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Whatever grace, whatever that is needed for them to be able to pilot this affair, that God will deposit such qualities on them. And of course, they have moved forward by introducing the code of governance. And I understand whatever it is on those documents are not rigid. They are flexible, subjected to amendment when necessary, until all stakeholders who are supposed to be competent member of this Biafra nation comes on board, and then there will be need for complete overhauling, reviewing after reviewing, until everybody comes in terms with his decision. Now let's go back a little bit. The Yoruba has ruled Nigeria how many years? How many years? Uli Obasanjo, how many years? It looks like it's more than 12 years. And then you have Shiniko, even though it's less than 6 months or thereabout. But let's continue from the 1999. He ruled his tenure. The North did the same thing. And so can somebody tell me why the Igbo man is not president? And then they are going to tell South man, no grew, no grew. Transparency and the true spirit of one Nigeria start the day the Igbo man will be allowed to be the next president. And honestly, for fairness, justice, and equity, Igbo man is supposed to be the next president. But the same thing that will make you Nigerians to hide and deny the amendment of the Nigerian constitution, the same thing will make you and compel you to make sure no Igbo man rule Nigeria. You are hiding your evil. It's just a matter of time. This is not issue to be discussed. They are supposed to say, Igbo man, give us your president. This is not supposed to appeal Idoma man, Igala man, Ijo man, Urobo man, Ishekiri man. This is not Efiki man, Ibibio man, Anna man. I beg you, come and support your brother. No. It should be considered as a civic right. I'm not a politician. I do not have intention of going into politics in this my very life. But I think I have the right to see what is necessary. You don't have to say that. As far as Igbo can be considered as anything, or you see anything, go and look at the people who threw their weight on Goodluck Ebere Jonathan. Let's assume he's a South man, he's not an Southeast man. It will shock you. It's overwhelming for Goodluck for the first time to tell you his Igbo name. The support was overwhelming. You know, there is this spirit of ambition in the life of Igbo man. When they mean something, they really mean that thing. Only that many of them allow criminal like Nnamdi Kanu to influence them to bury their conscience and do rubbish. They gave him massive support. I do not think any German actually called for Igbo to support Goodluck Ebere Jonathan. But they know it is their duty, and that is what they're supposed to do. And nobody can fault them for that. And I give them kudos for that. I will not address Nigerian people regarding that issue. But like Dr. Koyo said, Paul Okoye said, if Nigeria want to be fair, if they want the truth, let Igbo man rule. If they sell Nigeria, then let their return change. Let Igbo man rule. Has Yoruba not sold us? Any heaven fall? Hausa don't sell us, heaven fall. Now let Igbo man rule. I said we were in 1999 democratic dispensation. Let Igbo man rule now. Let himself sell his own and collect now. Because this is the only time other ethnic minority in Nigeria will have a say. And then we can begin to say now, Igbo have ruled, Hausa have ruled, Yoruba have ruled. Now Yoruba should be the next president. And now you see those of you from within the Biafran territory who have been balkanized by the Nigerian state. It is the Igbo man being there that will open door for you to have the moral ground to ask Nigeria for your rights. Because you are from Edo, so Edo man cannot be president. Edo people cannot come out and say we want the presidency this year because they are second-hand class. This is the work of inferiority complex. But how did we get here? How did we get here that we have to beg ourselves? Because we are not organized. And these are some of the things, the facility we want to put in place. And our people will not think deeply because everybody is thinking from the point of view where it's going to benefit them. I thank God for the people of Anambra who were actually to demonstrate that spirit of maturity in this recent election. Anambra State gubernatorial election. I was wondering, is it 3 or 4 men coming out from the same local government to contest for Anambra election? And one of my brokers, I said, is it only this village in Anambra? How can all of you from the same village? Now, if they were not mature, they start killing themselves. But I thank God I'm not hearing any gra there. And Soludo may be warming up for what is to come. That is maturity. We understand some has gone to court, but it doesn't gather water. It's a cloud that is just, the rain is set, but there is no water there. It will brighten up. We have failed to introduce a system that will encourage all these things. We're not supposed to say that. If Igbo man cannot be a president of Nigeria, Urobo man cannot be, Ijaw man cannot be, Akwa Ibom man cannot be, Ikwere man cannot be, Abo man cannot be. None of you will be because you don't have a moral ground. Except grace overtake your circumstance like that of the issue of Goodluck. And I tell you, it comes once in a 1,000 years. Not 100 though. Once in 1,000 years. And so he appealed. If the people of the South, Biafrans, in collaboration with the people of the Southeast, team together and then gave their vote to one Igbo man, who is going to be this Igbo man? Would it be PDP? Will it be APC? Will it be Ngwaman? Will it be Okaman? Will it be Abapanike man? Who will this man be? Is that man? Will everybody rally around him? Or no government will go and kidnap him and sell him to Abuja? Who will this man be? Do we have the spirit of even giving this mantle to one man? These are the things we should be considering. First of all, we should understand that if Igbo man does not go there, all of you in the south, the ancient Biafra, balkanized the nation, none of you are going there again. Ourselves after 1,000 years. Do not forget it is the right and the chance of Igbo man to be there. Because when they've gone and spent their own 8 years and then they come back, and then I can now come out and follow any Igbo man and say it is the turn of Igbo man to be president. And then what is good for the goose is good for the ganja. And then some people sit back and then they fight back. If Igbo man come there, he go sell Nigeria. Una never sell us, collect money, even use us do collateral. Is Nigeria not a collateral? What are we not saying here? But I blame the Igbos. They have not played very mature in carrying their cousins and younger brother around. They have not done that, I must tell you the truth. Because if not, Dr. Paul Okoye will not be appealing. We do certain things, we want to, I don't know what kind of sense we are trying to project there, but it backfires us at the end. It looks like this Biafra agitation. In case you think we are not noticing, we are noticing. We came out because it's Biafra affair. But indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu and some criminal-minded individuals, they are trying to change it as Igbo agitation. This is not because they want to protect the interests of the Igbo man. This is because they want to hide their atrocity. And then they have Igbo people who will guide them. Him and and cover their track. On the expense of supposedly minority people. The result will come out too. And those supposedly minority inside the same Biafra Kwano, they are watching you. But you never reject other tribes. Forget about those little paid one. They bring already. We are the coastal Biafra. We are the riverine Biafra. We are inside the bottom water Biafra. Forget about all those rubbish. They end on Facebook. And I'm talking about genuinely being incorporated. It's not there. It's not there. I remember our sister Chris Ekan from ONYIBE, who was later incorporated into the DOS. If you have access to her, tell her to tell you the truth. And no Igbo man, noble man, first generation parliamentary, ancient parliamentary, and all of you, none of you can tell Nnamdi Kanu, why are you dividing your people? But almost all of you are Eastern security, Eastern security. Let Eastern security go and support Igbo man now. Oh, Dr. Okoye, you would have called Eastern security to come and support this person. And now finally, you remembered. You are a wise man, I give it to you. Because you never called the West to come and support. Because you know what's up. You never call Arewa. Of course, they will have no choice. And their vote for Igbo man will make no meaning. It doesn't make any sense. It is questionable. And such cannot exist. You did the right thing. And the people of the South must understand that the success of Igbo man is tied to your own success. We deal with criminals individually. We separate them. We separate rubbish people and follow them up. Now they can over time have tried to project all of us as why hating the Igbo, why hating the Igbo. But it's the one who hates his people and selling his people and betraying his people. And you see, there is this mother love, nature of mother love. I love my own. No wonder the Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child. He who the father loved is chastised. You see? And so that having been said, those of you involved in election, Biafrans, you don't need anybody to beg you to do that. But this is something we should have. Prepare the platform to come out massively. Massively. And support Igbo man to be president. Somebody say, oh, they are politicians, they collect money from government. No government gives me money. In this Biafra restoration project, the money I have collected is maybe some people, they say, we love what you are doing. And they give me 1,000, 50,000 encouragement. But outside that, it's the money to buy data and broadcasting equipment. I'm not receiving billion. I'm not building house everywhere. I'm not buying a vehicle everywhere. In fact, my cars that I was driving, I didn't say cars. One of them is still in DSS till today. It's still in DSS till today. DSS Port Harcourt. And I can say, don't worry, leave it for them. Just forget about. We see the arrangement. Otu Aburu is here. What exactly have we lost? My first house in life, I built it. It should be around 19 years ago. Between 19 and 16 years ago. It's in Rumukurushi. As is in River State. Can I go there as I'm talking to you? So what exactly are you going to give us now to replace what we have sacrificed for this journey? When idiots are collecting, raising funds, and trying to sacrifice us and spill our blood on the platform. We have not lost our mind nor our senses. Our focus remain. Number one, the unification of the people of Biafra. Number two, general and total inclusion of all the component members that makes up this Biafra nation, because this is the key to our progress. This is the key to the restoration of Biafra. This is the key to the total emancipation of the Biafra nation. You can hide from this truth for now, but sooner or later, if you fail to embrace it, your children will do that, and that is after you have suffered greatly. You have been deprived greatly of your fundamental human rights, and they will learn from your mistake. I know the next generation will not be stupid, and that is why we are laying everything bare and open for them to know the truth. And so if you consider these two lines of news headline emanating from the Nigerian media stable on this very fateful day, you will see there are a lot of assignment to do. In the first instance, there is need to give a new orientation to our youth by trying to resurrect the culture of self-sustenance. And there is need for us to rally around one another. We are Easterners, we are Easterners, and it stands that way. Those of you doing politics, PDP, APC, all of you are the same. And so I do not stand to defend any political party. PDP was in power. They looted Nigeria, drained Nigeria completely. It was very obvious that everybody was seeing it, that PDP have damaged Nigeria. And then they regrouped. All of them ran to APC. Is it not the same people in PDP that are in APC? And then they put the blame on non-existing PDP, whereas it's the same people in APC. Just like the same way, group of corrupt army men took over power, rule us with decree, as directed by the owners of the company called Nigeria. And then all of a sudden in 1999, they emerged with supposedly constitution. And yes, it's a democratic setting. Let us follow democratic process. All of them remove their kake and they wear agbada. Are they not the one ruling us till today? You think they are our concern? It's okay. In conclusion tonight, if we must survive this onslaught, politically, economically, religiously, or otherwise, there should be genuine reason for us to reevaluate our position as we walk toward the overall interest of the people of Biafra, instead of individuals, groups, region, or organization. It's as simple as that. I will have to stop here at this moment, and then our lines are open. In a few moments from now, if there's no call coming, I will wind up the program. But of course, you have a contribution to make. You have something to tell the people of Biafra. You want to join this very noble family, Biafra Nation Alliance. You want to be a part of the de facto customary government, or you have faith or believe in ideology behind other pro-Biafran group, you can contact any of our media representative. You have Mazi Ukuyonwoka there. You have Dr. Uchinwu there in America. Of course, Ukuyonwoka is in Canada. You have Audio Guinea in South Africa. And of course, I'm here in Biafra land. You have our director, Uchuka Fomefo. Of course, you have members of Board of Trustee, Mazi Obi Diobinu, Dr. Okado, and of course, our administrators around the globe, Mazi Paul Onwukinkwo, and you have Mazi Obi Dike, you have Udogu, Awili Udogu. Of course, you have our spokesperson, Chimezie. You have Mbada, Mbada, Ukuli. He's there as a mobilizer, American mobilizer, and others too numerous to mention. All of them comes up once in a while to give their number. Contact them. Visit our website. And don't forget, we are on relay station, FM 100.5. You get us some areas in Anambra State, some areas in River State, and likely some area in Delta State. And at this moment, our lines are open. And also, don't forget, we are on app, Simple Radio, we're on satellite, and of course, other platform will be initiated soon. Our direct line is 081-221-52971, 081-221-52971. I repeat, our direct line once again is 081-221-52971. That is our direct line. And then our WhatsApp line is 070-815-45642. I have a caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp, you just give me a minute there. Let's see, just a minute. Can you hear me, caller on WhatsApp? Can you hear me, caller on WhatsApp? Of course, I lost that caller, but let's see if you come back again. And I repeat again, our WhatsApp line is 070-815-45642. And of course, if you cannot access us through the studio line and you have access to any of my social media platform, you are free to call in and make your contribution. The lines are open, and then you are free to call in. Caller on the line, can you hear me? Caller on the line.
Good evening.
Good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from? Caller on the line. I think I lost that call also. But you keep trying. The lines are open and you are free to call in to make your contribution. Don't forget, this is still Biafra Human Right and Freedom Radio Station. Our intention is to go home. And to be able to go home, we understand that we must go. We must pass through the nook and cranny of Biafra land. And of course, this is not a sacrifice that is too great to say we cannot be able to meet up. We can, we shall, and we will. For God's sake, we are Biafrans. I'm joined by Agowanye. Let's see if we can get her. Can you hear me, Agowanye? Can you
Hello,
hear
sir.
me?
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good evening,
evening.
sir. I really thank you for the good works you are doing for us. I say, may Ekekeruwa bless you in Jesus' name. I use the opportunity to greet our able-bodied men over there. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on your time zone. I thank you people very much well for the good work you people have done for us, giving us an opportunity today to be expressing our feelings. If not because of you men over there and good women, I don't know where we would have been. I say, may God bless all of you for us. Really, you have analyzed it just as usual. Your analysis is always superb. I don't just really know where to start, but let me just chip in some little things based on all what you have said. Really, I will say that our value has been destroyed. It's due to the bastardization of our value that got us to where we are today. Because anytime I stay on my own and reason and meditate, I always confess our ancestors are more righteous than us and more organized and more coordinated than us. The envy, wickedness, and jealousy we are seeing today, it was not like that. It was not like that before. Because I could realize that every community, every place has the value or the culture, the tradition that is ruling them, and everybody is very conscious of it. There are certain things that the community is upholding. There are certain things that they don't want to get themselves involved with. There are certain things that are abomination in that community. Everybody dodges it. Nobody wants to get him or herself involved in it. But today, people just go to religious aspect, because many people claimed today because they are Christians or Muslim or this and that, they now abandoned their value, more especially Christians. We claim that Christianity is where we're supposed to stay with holiness. But if you allow me to say, you will find out that that is the beginning of the problem we are having today. Because many people has run into that place to hide themselves and cover the atrocities and the evil inside that place. And those holy men that are supposed to be in the church today are in the world. And the evil people in the world are the ones inside the churches today. If anybody wants to commit any crime, he will go and hide inside there and call himself one big name or the other one. Go to social media today, you will see the rubbish going on there in the name that I'm a pastor, or I'm GU, or I'm this, I'm that. Something that a moral man or woman is supposed not to open mouth and say. You come to public in this social media era and start saying rubbish in the name that you are preaching. And the people will see that and be looking at that person and clapping hand and saying amen. And they are transferring all those evil and curses upon people, and they are accepting it, saying amen. Let me trace back to when I remember when we were in primary school. It's not very far like that, in the 80s. Yes, but things were better then than now. I could remember that there's something we normally contribute in the school. They call it handwork. That handwork, the name alone tells you what it tells. Every people is mandated to bring either basket or broom to the school. There's nothing like toilet roll or toilet soap. Nobody tells you to bring such kind of a thing. And in those days, you hardly see any child going to school with money. Because even if you bring money to the teachers, they will not collect it from your hand. This broom, we don't go to market to buy it. You as a person, I could remember how many palm trees I've climbed to cut palm fronds that I used to produce my own broom. Or even that basket, I know how to make it then. And you make your own, and you will be looking for style to put you for in your own and make it different, so that it hello. so that it will attract more mark, because there is a mark for that handwork. Also, there's manual labor. The day of manual labor, you will be told the kind of things to bring to school. You see it is working. And I could remember during the era of my own mother, if you want to make soup like this, we go to backyard. Before you come out, everything will be complete. And there's nothing like Maggi. I never see her put Maggi inside soup. But her soup is more delicious than the ones we cook now with Maggi. All these things, what has happened? In those days, you dare not see anybody having padlock in his or her door. I could remember our parents will go to market. Our doors will be open. Nobody locks it. In the night, everybody will lie down outside till daybreak. Nobody locks his or her door. But these days, go to village. It will not reach 5. It will not reach 7 o'clock. You run inside your house and lock it. Why? Because people are tracing you. If they see you come, maybe you come with a fine cloth or so, they will target you. Maybe you come with money. I never experienced such kind of a thing before. And today, they have destroyed our value. And the people that have been coming out in the forefront to fight for us are the evil incarnated people. Those that we are produced in the midst of evil. They incarnated in it and they embodied themselves with that sacrilege and came out and claiming that they are speaking for people. Now, for instance, there's no way we will talk without mentioning Ekperima, because it's the taproot of the evil the Easterners are passing through today. He is the center of gravity of the evil we are going through today. I know he learned from other people, but those people he learned from are just learning. He himself, that with his own evil nature, just went under them and gathered the evils that they says no and added into his own and came up and started executing it. For those that are like you are talking about Igbo presidency, yes, if all things being equal, that's what that's supposed to be done. But with this present dispensation we find ourselves, I doubt it. Because Ekperima has already destroyed the thing that would have given them that right. And some of the half-baked elders are clapping hand for him, going for political solution. They don't know that the Nigerian government wanted to use that thing to get all of them trapped. And they fell into the trap, and all of them were now encircled in it. Your son say he want to secede and went back to go and start working with the Janjaweed, according by him, to start destroying our land. And instead of you to come and distance from yourself from it and liaise with the government and play your politics very well, some of you were afraid of his ESN. You came out and started speaking with the both sides of your mouth, and now you are still going for presidency and you are still going for unconditional release. Do they think that the Northerners, they don't know what they are doing with the Westerners? Where is the Oduduwa Biafra Alliance secession group? Where are they? They use that thing to bring his leg out very well before they now get him entrapped, and they went back and started negotiating and putting their houses in order. There's no way, with the kind of atrocities and the kind of damages he has caused into this, into the Nigerian state and our own region, that they will have that moral stand or face to go and start telling them to give them presidency, because he is the Ekperima is the center of negotiation. Either they will carry their evil child and leave a presidency, or they will leave their evil child to face his punishment and talk of presidency. So two things are involved for them. They allowed themselves to be caught with the web of the evil their son is doing, as they call him. Now, the way forward for us, the same thing happened. That's how he made it. he made it as a point of duty to make sure that Biafra restoration is destroyed, because he knew he will not bring it up himself, and he knew there's never a time he is looking for restoration of Biafra. He was there doing his personal business with the bidding of the people that he claimed that is his enemy. He is doing their bidding. Otherwise, why is it that Python dance will be going on in his house and his brother is in Abuja doing they are putting crown on his face, and after that he was taken to London to conclude the merriment, and he himself, before the Python they came, he has been elected. He left his house with his family 2 days before the day of the operation. All these things he had been working on our emotion, working on our brain. We didn't know till when God helped us. People like you people now started opening our eyes. But now, for instance, there are certain things I always say. These people, even the people working with him, they really know that what he is doing is not the right thing, and they know that this day will come. That's why some people that are saying, like in Ilofegu, saying that the China Sanworu and the what they call the head of the Directorate of Sabotua, Chike Doziem, that they are the one that sold the leader. And we somehow want to believe her, because these people knew very well that this guy has gotten enough money into his pocket. They want to get their own. Otherwise, why is it that every state then that we are in good time, that Chike Doziem sends his sister Ibe gift Amarachi to go and destroy the state by dividing them into two? If all things being equal, that any time they will come on round table, say let everybody come and give account of his own stewardship, Ibe Amarachi and the Chike Doziem should be called upon to come and tell Biafrans what is the meaning of a Biafra inland account. Because any state she destroyed, she will give her own people that they planted there to be doing their evil bidding for them. They will give them the account they call a Biafra inland account. And God made it that there are some people from the right source that called the chief and the executive chief of their finance, the Okonji-Iweala of their Biafra, by her name Nena Yanya. She was called and she confessed that there is nothing like an inland Biafra account that she gave to anybody, that he didn't know anything of that nature. So even if they will deny it, as I'm saying it on the air now, even if they will deny it, let them deny it, but let them know that records about I have facts and figures from the right source, and the records are there for them. Whatever thing they may deny tomorrow or next, it's there for them to look at it. They know what they are doing. So all those states he send all those accounts to, and they are paying that money to them instead of the money going to Germany. Who are the people that is in custody of it? Which means that they know that today will come. Now the ESN, they established it to use them to close their mouth, because what they normally does that time, they started doing it when they notice that you are outspoken and you are intelligent in any field you find yourself as a position. They will start from the state level, castigate you and tag you saboteur. They will remove you, because they don't want any wise person to come closer to them. They started removing everybody, allowing all those evil people they planted to do their bidding to be there. So they know it, and they started planning for it for long ago, but we didn't know. And those that came out with genuine heart to fight for Biafra, they didn't know. So they continued. Now, to crown it all, they now established this ESN to use it to close the mouth of the people that have tagged the saboteur and use them to eliminate them. They did not create those people to come and fight for anything or to defend anybody. After all, they are the people that was orchestrating the evil along the line. They now want to make it public. When it was hidden, they are the one orchestrating most of the evils you hear about that time. They orchestrated it, and then we video it and come and showcase and change the narrative. Now they baptized themselves and give themselves that name. they started doing it just to put fear in people before they will start killing those that they have tagged their saboteur, because they know those wise people they have expelled from their midst may come up tomorrow to ask them questions. They establish that thing to start attacking them and going after them. And today, that thing they started is the beginning of their doom. Like it's normally tell them that you are their doom and their what again? Their destiny. Good. So the thing you were telling them that time, they thought that you are just talking. They forgot that no matter what, you are an ordained man of God. At times you speak based on the unction of God. At times wisdom and knowledge and understanding comes from God. You don't just at times open mouth and start talking. But because they adapt with their brainwashed and blinded eyes, they could not hear what you are saying. And there's an adage in my place that that death that will kill a dog, it doesn't allow it to hear the order of a sheep. We warned them time without number to stop evil. They refused. Today, the evil they orchestrated will grow up and get all of them swallowed. Even ordinary press statement or interview that they gave to Buhari or Jubrim, as they call him, their people now have started twisting it, making propaganda of it as if they are the only people in social media. To tell you the level evil has eaten the fabric of their brain. Somebody came out on social media and say on video, every digger and Harry had it. Even if you want to interpret it with your own words, don't twist it. Interpret it with your own words. It will still remain the same meaning. That's what ONYIBE people call synonyms. Or similitude. Why changing it, twisting it to suit your own lies and propaganda? My dear, you have already said it. It's left for those that have ear, let them hear. I think there's the one that came out on social media now, where they were in one bamboo tree forest doing small jamboree, showcasing it and smiling. And all these people that are sending these people to be doing all these things, endangering themselves. So as they are doing all those things and then posting it on social media, they think that people are afraid of them. As they are doing it, they don't know that these days they have trackers everywhere. That before they know it, the place they are, they will be tracked. Their faces and everything have been seen. What kind of stupidity is this, for Christ's sake? Look at all these youths. They are picking our children one by one, and before you know it, all of them will be eliminated. And is the bidding Perima is in dungeon doing. They think that is negotiating for them. And the other people that are outside are doing their own. Hey, Abachewu or Nanuku. But those who want to hear, let them hear. Those that do not want to hear, let them not hear. But I suggest our way forward is to go back to our roots. It's high time you will start educating us again for all those things we have forgotten. Going back to our root will help us. Because I could vividly remember that during my forefather and father, that grandparents and my own parents, there are certain things one will not put his or her legs into. That thing will hook you. You must confess it, otherwise no way for you. In those days, I was told, and I learned that like a woman in our own place, you dare not be in your husband's house and get an affair with a man outside. Whether anybody see you or nobody see you, you must confess it any day you go to give birth to your issue, to an issue. You must confess it before that child will come out. But because of modernization of things today, some of the women, whether the child agreed to come out or not, they will prefer doing operation instead of confessing and get their baby delivered normally. In those days, if you deliver through operation, you must be worried to know what happened. I'm not saying that they are perfectly correct. There must still be some ignorance in it. But what I'm trying to say is the efficacy of our tradition before. It's not all our tradition is evil, but you But people came to tell us that our ancestral land and our ancestral activities are evil. They are telling us that evil ancestral cause. What about ancestral blessings? Does it mean that there's no ancestral blessings? Because I know if a parent blesses you as a child, you will exploit. Do exploit. But if your parent curses you, it will be a doom for you. That's why everybody tries to make sure that he pleases the parent, his or her parent. But these days, that's why this thing shocked me to my bone marrow. When we were still in APOB, this radio ranter, we come on air and start cursing all our elders, cursing all of them, calling them names. Till when we assimilated all those hate from him and start hating people anyhow. When anybody didn't believe our own ideology or agree to what we say, we start cursing the person. I thank God for you people, because I now gave myself orientation again to start knowing how to talk with the people. Even if you didn't believe what I believe, we will talk till when the one with higher argument will take the proper education to our people for their brain to be reactivated. Evil has been implanted into their brain and their system, because upon all what people that we are saying and all what that is going on, look at where they still get to themselves. How many of them are in that bamboo-based camp? How many of them are there? You are making noise as if one barrack now come there to meet you people, you will survive it. You showcase this thing from day one, and the resultant effect of it has been very disastrous to you people, and you're still doing it. Are they not daft? What kind of spell has been casted on our people? May God help them. So for our own ideology, yes, we believe it, and it will come to pass, as you said. We are going to get involved and dominate our own political spheres, that is Biafran region. We are not going to compete with the Nigerian state, but for our own area, all of us own the place. Nobody will tell us not to participate in what belongs to us. Those that knows how to play the politics, let them start getting ready and get themselves involved. And it's high time now, and those that understand politics very well, the right one, like as Dr. Koye did that you talked about, let other people be coming out to teach us the right way of doing the politics. And our own people, the federal customary government, I know before you become a government, some of them knows what government entails. Let them still be coming up to be giving us orientation, teaching us. It's not everything will be taught on air, but those that are concerned, they will be called once in a while and teach them the right thing to do, so that before they themselves will get involved, let them not do it, let it not be a business as usual, but they will do it and do it in a different way, because we cannot continue to be doing the same thing and expecting different results. Look at what is in full social media, like as you said. Not eating cow meat and singing what do they call it, national anthem. What will that thing achieve them? What will it give them what they are looking for? No. I saw them today posting one school that sang primary school that we are singing Biafra national anthem. And they started talking their rubbish. They forgot that this thing was something that was done 2 years far back when we were still together. Doing if any side want to do any get together or something of that nature, they will organize their people and teach them certain things they will do. That thing was stage managed anthem to sing during that occasion that we are done in that place. It's what they are using today to say, and their people have even started abiding to the rules. I don't know when these people will stop all their lies and propaganda. Many people are educated, for Christ's sake. Many people have known things, for Christ's sake, more than you people. And you people are not even at home. You don't know what is going on at home. And there are people on the ground that knows what is going on. You will just be wherever you are from your location under the bridge or anywhere you find yourself, you'll be writing rubbish because you have one small China phone. My dear, if I continue talking, maybe I will even start getting angry because I don't know what's wrong with our people. But I know one day shall be one day. Monkey will go market, it will not return again. If anybody tell them that Ekperima will still remain in the dungeon till 2022, would they believe it? I think they said if he stayed there, Dumeje said that he will be released before Christmas when a bleaching lawyer went there to do Saraka, dancing up and down. Has it come to pass? All the things he was on air ranting, telling people how to kill soldiers and police and cut off their head, not just killing, they should kill them and cut off their head. And he said that whenever they come to our land, that they will kill them, they will not see their corpse. Is it not what they are executing today? Because will you see the corpse that has been roasted and be eaten like chicken? They cut off the head and keep for the burial of Ikonso. Then they will now roast the person's body and keep for their own meat. You think that the God of the land is watching you and is clapping hand for you people? Because it didn't happen, it has not happened the way it happened during the Ekan period, during the Israelites period. Grand opened and swallowed them. They don't know that there's something that is even stronger than grand opening to swallow them. Very soon they will find out that what is happening to them now is just the beginning. Very soon day will dark for them in the daytime like this. Night will envelop them. And it's going to happen. Unless if what they are doing is normal. They are evil and they are the abomination that has ever come to Biafra land. And the Amadio and the gods of the land will not allow them to continue with that. Yokpa, I thank you for your good teaching. Continue teaching us, please. We need going back to your root. We must go back to our root. We have forgotten many of our values. I'm not talking of doing evil tradition or if there's anyone that is evil. But I know there are many good things that our ancestors kept for us that we have forgotten. And when we abandon it, is not happy with us. If you anyway, shall let me not go deeper to that. If we overlook it, things will not go well with us. I say, may God continue to bless you and keep you and give you more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to be teaching us. At the end, I know we go nowhere. Biafra must be restored. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, and thank you for joining me. And of course, it is a gradual process. Every stage it has its antidote. We'll be applying them, and hopefully people will understand what is at stake, what needs to be done, and I want to believe all of them will be doing the right thing. We are not such a complex people. We are not such a complicated people. We actually know what we want and we go for it. And that is exactly what we are doing here. I'm joined by Dr. Okadu at this moment. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please, Good evening from here from London.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me. My special greetings to you and to Ago. And, people are doing well. The conversation must continue, of course. And we are not losing focus. Rather, it helps us to direct our focus. The conversation must continue. You all are doing well, and more grace to you. Well, tonight, I just want to pinpoint or focus on certain important issues. Because it's important, because as we earlier made mention during the New Year broadcast of Director of BIAFRA Human Rights Radio, this year is a year of action, and we must have to start to indicate the parameters of those actions. What is obvious is that all of us, we didn't get it right I mean this present generation. It might not be intentional, but when I mean we didn't get it right, it means that we didn't actually have what it requires, mostly the acumen. We were more emotional than rational, than being rational. Why I'm saying this is that even if you remember very well, when I came into DOS, I was very, very sensitive and skeptic on this issue that I wanted to comment tonight. We didn't analyze, besides timing ourselves in what we are doing. We weren't timing ourselves in what we are doing, and we weren't able to the famous roadmap or plan of action. We hadn't any. So what was the implication? I was very, very, as I'm making this observation tonight, I could tell you that, of course, my conscience is clear because I was quite sensitive to most of these issues. I will pinpoint them for clarity. One was on the question of citizenship, that is somehow connected to legal status or issues bordering on judiciary. Second is on civic political education, which is important when we talk about participation and representation. And the third issue that is more or less the consequence of not having gotten it wrong from the beginning will be the way forward actions on how we have to amend the wrongs we have constructed. On the issue of citizenship, we would have even practical questions coming up call for gen definition or clarity on that issue, but we were deceitful. Even this issue sometimes come up within the DOS meetings. What's that issue? We in diaspora, we were feeling so comfortable in saying deceitfully that we are not Nigerian, maybe because of the dual citizenship we have, and many of us deceitfully, when they want to travel, we deceitfully travel, and then will not say anything, will, so what I mean, deceitful behaviors, But well, that can be obtained maybe in a situation of such, maybe let's call it in such a moment of struggle. But the point is that we weren't truthful, there was no reality, amongst us, because was the question of the truthfulness, why did it come in? If we can simply say that maybe we have our dual citizenships in America or in Europe or in Asia, and then you say that, well, because of my dual citizenship, I renounce this, and then maybe, but be very, very sincere and truthful to our brethren, our citizens at home, to explain better to them. But we failed to do that. and gave a very wrong education in issues of citizenship, and is a very boomerang today. We must have to correct that, because it's one of the fundamental actions for a way forward. We are the citizens of Biafra by indigenous identity or customary identity. And not only that, we are citizens of Biafra by fact, which has been demonstrated to the world. At a time, from 1967 to 1970, we were full-fledged citizens of Biafra. After the first military dictatorial capitulation, which didn't usurpate the people's sovereignty. Remember, it was military capitulation that's under duress, that didn't has anything to do with the people's sovereign power. We went into questions, into a comatose condition. That's why presently, as we are talking on the radio today, we are Biafran citizens by fact and by indigenous or customary identity. Are we Nigerian citizens? Yes. We should let our citizens, mostly those our youth, our young citizens, our youth at home to understand that, are we Nigerian citizens? Yes. But all along, for the past 10 years, when this struggle started, we have been treading on deceitfulness, spearheaded by Nnamdi Kanu. I've called this into questions, even within the doers. We are Nigerian citizens, yes. Why? Because it doesn't mean that we are Nigerian citizens forever. But remember, let me explain better. A Biafran citizen, let's say, assume a supposition that Biafra has attained its full sovereign authority, meaning that we've obtained our full legal citizenship, both fact, customary, and legal. A Biafran also can choose Nigeria as his or her dual citizen in a country. So we have to put that into consideration. And then, are we being appellative? Are we begging for that? Or are we being, no? Because that has also a very interesting historical fact that need to be explained to the youth mostly. Our patrons and forefathers were the protagonists. They were the founders of the present Nigeria. It could be said that without us, without patrons of Biafrans, there might not be anything like Nigeria today in the condition as a nation or as a republic. But as it is part of us, we are known as being people of pathfinders. You cannot invent what want to consume you and you leave it to be like that. There's nothing wrong in making a change. And that was why our patrons and fathers did that important change. Because the so-called Nigeria that they where the founders wanted to consume us. So we are not stranger when it comes. We are more Nigerian than others. But we desisted because of its evil that it has incurred into her. So in short, as I'm speaking with you, are we Nigerian citizens? We are Nigerian citizens. We can rightly say that an imposed citizenship. But it is important because as I am speaking with you now, if I have a dual nationality, even here in Europe where I am, when you trace what gave me or what contributed to the background is that you are your first nationality was Nigeria. But many of us here in diaspora was insincerely trying to play fast. Maybe when they get second citizenship, they try to, and they were communicating it wrongly, in a deceitful manner to those at home. And that has caused a very big setback to the struggle. So the fact and the communication that we have to give to our people is that we are Biafran as well as Nigerian. Why am I saying this? A reality, life reality. I've said it the other day. For many of us that are believers, we have to recall about the Trinity principles and one God. And all I'm trying to say, reality can be dual or trivial. It may be imposed, it may be unwillingly, but you have to understand that reality. So when we depart from that point of view, why am I stressing or why am I emphasizing on that? Because it gives us it puts us in a better position to get the target, to reach our objective. In order not to, that's not to play the game for our adversaries, because that's what we are doing most times with this kind of man. You can hear, if the interview of Buhari, where he mentioned IPOB and then Nnamdi Kanu, you can see how he, confidently qualified in that he forgot that he was a Nigerian, So I don't know why I'm making reference to that, because the point was that because of this deceitful attitude, because here comes the connection with the judiciary, because there can be a way also that if you are a protagonist, a pioneer in a struggle movement like that, you can start alone to single yourself out as not being part of that nation that you want to separate from. And you have to do that by entangling, that's removing everything, not in a cunning manner or something like that, or deceitful manner to yourself and to others. And then that calls into question the issue of judiciary. If he is being sincere, from what we are trying to say, first thing he would have done with all he has been ranting and saying would have been not to recognize the judiciary status of Nigeria over him. At least that would have made a war, a kind of world news and a very big impact, both two. But he was timid, so of course, Buhari is right to describe him in that manner that he described him in his interview, because he is deceitful in most of it. So what I am trying to say is that we must resolve that issue, starting from this first month of this 2022. This basic citizenry education must be given to our people. As of present, we are Biafrans, because what I am telling you is that in my personal profile, I've been saying it like that since the past 10 years. People that know me very well, even in most of the official engagements that I've been involved with, even international communities, I normally say that Biafran citizen by fact, Nigerian citizen by legal identity. And no one had ever questioned that, because this is the present situation where that we find ourselves. And remember, when I'm saying this, what does it portray? Portray nothing but sincerity and telling our youth the truth, and that will help them to go on with the struggle in a very, very confident and perfect manner. So this is important to note that we didn't do that. We deceived our people. Many young ones that doesn't understand that they were born in their passport. Why many of us that induced them to do that, staying here in diaspora, many of us are even holding our passport, Nigerian passport, and then coming to television to rant and talk nonsense. So everyone should hear it. Whoever is involved with the present dispensation, where we are Biafrans by fact and indigenous identity, and still we are Nigeria. Remember, I am saying it, no matter what we are saying, we should bear in mind that the pioneers of Nigeria, we were, our patriots, our forefathers were the pioneers of Nigeria. In our actions and behaviors, we are more Nigerians than others. That notwithstanding, we desist this Nigeria, because since its existence, what we have realized is that it came to consume those that founded it. So it's important that we take this. So another issue, topic that I will briefly do, but please call my attention if I'm taking your time, please.
Oh, go ahead, please. It's okay.
Yeah. Another issue that I will also comment on is the issue of civic political education. It is important because when we talk about civic political education, that's the issue of participation and representation. How did we, with all experience we've had from diaspora, because remember when I'm saying we didn't get it right, I mean our so-called militants that are in diaspora. Practically in the large part of our behavior, we were deceitful to our people. How can, with all the experience we've had in the Western world, we tend to induce, instigate the youth, the young generation, not to have civic political education, not to know the meaning of participation? Remember, we have to distinguish what I'm saying from civil disobedience. That's a different thing. Because civil disobedience is an instrument of civic political education. So let people not confuse the two now. I can say, I am, for instance, a Biafran citizen, or let me give, I am an American citizen. I am qualified to vote. That's, I'm registered to vote. I have all the preparation that qualifies me to vote. Under civil disobedience, on the voting day, I can decide, even publicly or otherwise, to say that I have my voting card, but I won't vote. But it will be wrong if I say I'm an American. Anything about vote is nonsense. Don't get privy. That one is embedded with ignorance and stupidity, to be sincere. But unfortunately, that has been the education we have been giving to our people, mostly the young generation. Apathy towards the political participation. Because why I'm saying this, I'm saying it from practical experience. I've been a legislator here in Europe, and I have educated our people here in Europe also that I think when at the early onset of my career here, I might say I was also an entrepreneur. But I was saying that, well, we might be well-to-do businessmen, or just something applies to those of our people at home too. But if you're not in the power of in the corridor of power, you are only joking. You must participate, because you must participate in the governance of that your wealth. If not, that person is floating. So it's a very civic duty that every citizen must have that sense of participation and representation. Don't invent an excuse, mostly flattery one. Because even if there is indecent behavior in that system, you can be, you can be a protagonist to correct it, to change it. At least one of our mothers who voted at Anambra during the Anambra election, made a point and had showed us a very indelible example. You can see our poor mother, how erudite and how eloquent and how important her vote was to her. And that's how it goes. But then we have seen those that claim to be intelligent people in diaspora playing and deceiving ourselves with our young generation with their voting rights. That has created a very terrible damage that it is also another point that we didn't get it right. And I'm accusing those in diaspora for that. Okada is accusing those. We were the people that orchestrated that. And why I'm saying it openly is that we owe the obligation to correct all the wrongs that we have done. In all this, and why didn't we get it right? We didn't get it right because we have what it takes, we in diaspora, to analyze the context that we were trying to induce. Let's take, for instance, you were a member of DOS, Job ONYIBE, as I was too. Within the IPOB decided to adopt the military contest, which I continue saying that was contradictory, because our forefathers or veterans and patrons, they adopted that because they were under the aggression of a military dictatorship led by Yakubu Gowon. And we forgot that when the first head of state of Biafra returned back to Biafra land, he never desisted in playing part. Though it might be wrong or right, but he knew that it was absolutely necessary to participate in politics. That it must be, if we are talking about restoration or whatever, we must participate. So what I am trying to say is that, why did the main issue that led him to do that was that the context has changed. When he came back, the context wasn't that of the person that was in power at that time was Shehu Shagari, and he was democratically elected. So practically there was a democratic contest, and any action or restorative action or whatever that he was being as intelligent, because we are working on his legacy, he adopted that democratically. So what happened within the present democratic contest of Nigeria, with parentheses, we know the dynamism of her democracy. IPOB adopted the military contest with their famous slogan of command and control, but so ignorantly. I knew that from the first day that I had something to do with the DOS. You may be a witness. I was asking, well, what happened is that it's interesting, command and control, that's a military slogan of engagement. But the issue now is that the military has martial law, martial code. But you people, you don't even have code of conduct, but only rely on the psychopathic, rants of an individual. It seems that I am bringing it up now because this is actually what caused the whole disaster that came up. Now you command and control. There's no let down martial code or rule that can. But the point is that an individual with every element of, you can see illusion and hallucinogen in all the discussion, So that's by the way. So what I'm trying to say is that that was a silly mistake, and we didn't get it right there. We didn't follow the legacy that was set by the first head of state. He came back, Biafra land, set that legacy. Remember, he was the founder of APGA even. Was there. I remember one of my friends I was speaking to in the United States on this issue. I said, well, most times, most of the difficulties was maybe funding of those political parties. The initial problem that the party had was that of funding. I said, well, with what those in diaspora have spent all these years without no accountability. Remember the famous issue of accountability. I was saying that being a public figure, that I'm afraid in any organization that finds joy in not rendering account to the public, which was the characteristics of IPOB. I was saying it. That accountability is important. It's an element of transparency. Because that's what you used to, it's one of the index that you used to know a decent leader. Even a decent leader will be in the forefront, mostly when you are involved with public fund. But as we are speaking, even tonight, quite unfortunate that all these decades, IPOB has been deceiving people, not even being able to make any financial statement, call it internally, or maybe if is a skeptic about taxation by authorities. But that's by the way. So the issue where I'm trying to boil my point is that the issue of citizenship, I've said something about civil political education for participation. It's very, very ripe because of what? Because we have to understand that presently now, what the world knew about Nigerian present political status and situation is that it is undergoing a democratic reformation. And it's that angle. We must paddle that direction to make our point, to drive our country, our nation, beloved nation, Biafra home. Democracy, democratic context is important. We must learn how to participate and be represented, starting from our ward units to the local government units. Our own Abuja is our state house. We should know that. And that's the task we have, starting from today. Our own Abuja for Biafran should be their state house. We have to start from our ward. It is not impossible. Because when you see it this way, you can see that we are the one holding ourselves. It takes nothing. It takes nothing, but the only unfortunate thing is that we fell into the hands of deceitful individuals from diaspora, of which unfortunately I involve myself also into. So it is not late. It's quite unreasonable that we have engaged a lot of time, but it's not the end of our existence. We still have hope and much to give our present generation and future generation. And by God's grace, we shall succeed. We must this time be very, very diligent. Dr. ONYIBE, thank you for giving me all this time. That's what I have to give tonight.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, and thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, sir. And of course, that is the voice of Dr. Okado. We are both members of the DOS maybe a year ago. And in one of the areas I observe is he took pain trying to analyze situation and circumstances. The need for us to engage in so many platforms, and each time some of these ideology that has the capacity to transform the movement itself emanate from him, it's always turned down by Chike Doziem and of course those criminal-minded individuals in the name of the DOS. And I start taking notice of Dr. Okado, and I respect his sense of character. He keeps telling you what needs to be done. It doesn't matter whether you accept it or not. But it's quite unfortunate, every man and woman with genuine intention, sincerely and seriously guiding Nnamdi Kanu, we are all blackmailed by him. These are people that will die for him. I know Mazi Obidi will practically take a bullet for Nnamdi Kanu. I know Mazi Mefo will even have to accept to go to her than to allow any evil to penetrate in Nnamdi Kanu. Just to mention but a few. And I have defended him, George ONYIBE, more than the supposedly Angel Gabriel in the DOS or any other member of IPONG. Whatever we did, whatever we said, yesterday, today, and even tomorrow, it's to protect his interest. It's to protect him, but the overall interest of our people. And of course, we are gradually inching closer to the end of this program. Our people must remain focused. If I have to lend my voice further to Dr. Okado's analysis for quite some time now, we're talking about a political or civil education. Our people must know the truth. We must tell them the truth. Because at the end of the day, we have deceptive, criminal-minded individual deceiving everybody, all for their selfish gain. And so it becomes obvious when they tell you, we don't get involved with politicians, we don't deal with politicians, we are not politicians. But yet we have record of almost all the politicians in Biafra land, given Nnamdi Kanu money. Should we tell him how much most of those people gave him to be evacuated? And yet he called them evil. He was really smart, I give it to him. How I wish his smartness was initiated or driven by his true love for his people. Genuinity and sincerity. I will still have not found any fault in him. But these were born out of greed. His smartness was simply a product of greed. He keeps collecting money from politicians. He will not allow anybody to see anything. He will contradict and blackmail you instantly. And he talk, oh my God. I won't blame him. But of course, one of my greatest consolation and happiness is that I, for one, told them, all these things you are going to do, it will boomerang. I told them, you are dancing in the marketplace. Be rest assured, the world is watching you. And the day you will realize they are watching you, the day they will call you for account, I wonder how you will feel. I told them to spend their energy considering how they are going to feel about it. I know you have not gotten the message yet, but don't worry. Don't worry, you will. And that having been said, I will have to bring this program to an end. I want to appreciate my callers this evening for your positive contribution, and the apology to those of you who have been standing by. And for some reason, I cannot take your call. Tomorrow is another day. Certainly, we'll continue from where we stop. Our destination is Biafra. We are Biafran, and we're not going anywhere until we are in Biafra land. And I hope you understand the implication behind that. We have works to do. We just even starting all over. But be rest assured we will get home. I remain George ONYIBE as I sign off from here. Good night, and God be with us all of us.
Please let the sun rise.
Our lives are in danger, siblings and more that all day long we have been ruled by strangers. Save my life. Give us Biafra. We are begging you, please. There's nothing we can do without you. It's only you that will save my life. Chico King and Biafra, you are the one to give us Biafra. We pray. Oh, just save the lives. We are your children, save our lives.
We are like sheep has gone astray. Restore our land and heal our hearts.
Save my life.
Save my life. Save my life.
Chukwaka.
Almighty Father. We are begging you, please.
Same thing, living here in the zoo. You up them and set us free. We are begging you.
See my people stay are crying. Keep up their love. They're dying. Save our land. We beg you, Lord.
Tears in my eyes, every day I dey cry. Nothing else I'm asking for, Lord, give me Biafra or I die. We need a clearer picture, a better future, the Lord.
Freedom, peace, what we want, nothing more, nothing less. We are tired of the zoo and your wickedness. Yes. Save my life, Papa.
Chukwaka, give us Biafra.
We are begging you, please. We are begging you, please. When your kingdom shall come, we will know we are safe. When your kingdom shall come, we will know we are safe. Father, Lord, we lift up our hands to the air now. Chukwaka can take all the glory and give it. Send your son to give the life. Send your innocent dream to
Give us Biafra. Save my life. Chukwaka, give us Biafra. We are begging you, please.
Alele bukom, iwe bukom, obia bawakom, ndio chichi beli.
I know you can feel our anguish, but don't let us perish in the hands of our enemies.